Kaiser is learning how to make moonshine this morning.
Yes, he is at Moonshine University. Watch out for the old white lightning, Keith. It'll get you.
Yeah, the white lightning, I think, comes out of one of those right over there. But before we get down to the end of the line here at Moonshine University, it's got to start back here, where you have the recipe for moonshine or bourbon, a distilled spirit. Kevin Hall, Moonshine University. How long have you guys been up and running now?
We opened in April, and we got our license about a month and a half ago.
And so you could start making some moonshine.
Exactly.
But what's the difference between moonshine and just the legal bourbons?
Got to pay the federal government their taxes.
And that's about it there. So you guys, you're on the up and up and teaching people about how all this stuff works.
Exactly.
And if they want to get into it, they can.
Exactly.
All right. So so bourbon. They got a lot of examples of bourbons here, and this is kind of the recipe of bourbon. Percentages. What are they?
Okay.
What makes it a bourbon?
It can vary, but by federal law, it has to be at least 51% corn. The grain that it's made out of has to be at least 51% corn, and then the rest of it is a mix of malted barley and generally either rye or wheat.
So the difference between if you throw wheat in there rather than a rye, what's that flavor going to be?
The wheat generally is a little softer, sweeter on the palate, and rye is a little spicier, a little more peppery kind of a flavor to you.
And so you kind of learn that here. You just kind of what's this going to do if I throw this in there and that kind of
thing. Exactly.
All right, so we're going to grind up some corn here.
Okay.
So this is the first step. And so what do we do here?
All right, well, we're going to turn the mill on.
All right.
And it's going to be loud and dusty.
Okay. There you go. We'll grind up some corn because you can't just throw the corn into the cooker.
That's right. You got to break it up.
Now every time you do that, you go like, woo! I'm making moonshine.
That's exactly. Well, maybe not exactly,
Maybe not that.
but something like that.
And so then you would throw, you got your corn in there, you got your rye, you blend it up, and it goes up through here, and it goes into the cooker.
Exactly.
And so what's happening in here?
So in here you're going to have water, and you're going to add steam. You're going to shoot steam in there, and it's going to cook cook those grains, and it breaks out the starches in the grains. So that's the first step, is to break out the starch.
Oh, let's see. Hope there's nothing in here. We'll open it up. Right. And so you filled it all the way to the top?
Not quite. You don't want to make a mess. There's an agitator in there that's going to spin it around, and you're going to fill it up to about here.
So we got it cooked. We get it to the right temperature, and then it goes into the next section, which we'll get into a little bit later on, where the yeast start making the alcohol. So Candace and Sterling, you can actually learn a lot about the spirits of Prohibition on December 5th. They got a little class going on here. You can be a part of it. Go to WDRB.com, click on the button. We'll link you in that way, and we're actually going to make some drinks of Prohibition. Collins here is going to teach me how to do that too. And then next, we go into the fermentation stage right here. Take a look inside. And we'll explain what's going on inside. Making some moonshine! I'm going to say that all morning long. Making moonshine!
Moonshine's a tad more sophisticated these days, I think.
Yes, it is. It's not the old rot gut of the old time days.
Right.
The good old days is what they call it. I don't know. That's what my grandfather said.